So I woke up this morning and I saw that the Golden Globe nominations have been announced. Yay! It's fair to say that the Golden Globes aren't that important, because at the end of the day, the Oscars are the big ones, and the Golden Globes, I guess, you could say people sort of hype it up because it is the first one and it sort of marks the beginning of award season. But it really isn't that important, but still, I think that a lot of the films that they have nominated and a lot of the people that they have nominated, I think that this year they got it wrong. And before I say anything else, I just want to say that most of the films that have been nominated, I haven't seen. So I haven't seen The Post, I haven't seen Lady Bird, I haven't seen Shape of Water, I haven't seen Phantom Thread or Disaster Artist or Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri or Call Me By Your Name. Most of these films I haven't seen simply because of the release dates. If you live in America, then you're lucky you get to see these films, but anyone who lives anywhere else, most of the time, these films, the awardsy films, tend to come out January, February, closer to the Oscars. And I definitely haven't seen The Greatest Showman, and I definitely have not seen All the Money in the World. In fact, I don't think anyone has seen that movie. But I guess this is going to be sort of like a rant video because I really am kind of upset with what they've chosen, like the people they've nominated, films that they've nominated, because I think that it's a bit of a misrepresentation of 2017 as a year for films. And I guess we should just start with Hugh Jackman. He gets nominated for The Greatest Showman, which again I have not seen. I don't think it's gonna be like mind-blowing, and I love Hugh Jackman. He's one of my favorite actors, and I think that the running joke with the Hollywood Foreign Press, the people who run the Golden Globes, is that a lot of the times they just nominate people because they're famous, not because their film was good, but because they were famous, so that they can go and take selfies with the people. And I think that this is kind of evident. They nominate like Hugh Jackman in The Greatest Showman. No one's seen The Greatest Showman. You know what people have seen? Logan. Why don't you nominate Hugh Jackman for that? Like, in my perfect world, Logan should have been at least Best Actor in a Drama, Best Supporting Actor, Best Picture in a Drama. Like, Logan deserves so much. It's such a great film. It's one of my favorite films of the year. And it definitely 100%, I think most people will agree with me, Logan definitely should have been nominated. And Hugh Jackman, if he was nominated, he could have won. I don't know, okay? You know what else wasn't nominated? Wonder Woman. Not a single nomination. Now, I liked Wonder Woman. I didn't love it. I would probably say it's my third favorite superhero film of the year, behind Logan and Ragnarok. But Wonder Woman, I have to admit, is a very important film just because, going forward, it is important that, female leads and female, superheroes are recognized, and that it is a very important film. And I think that at least they should have nominated Patty Jenkins as director because it is an incredibly well-directed film. But no nomination for Patty Jenkins, which I thought was a bit of which it pissed me off a little bit. Also, I know this is a bit of a push, but I know that this film is going to get a lot more attention when it comes to the Oscars because it's going to get a lot of nominations in terms of the visual effects. But I thought Apes, I'm not surprised that it's not nominated, but I would have liked to see some love for Matt Reeves or Andy Serkis, but I'm not surprised. It's probably not even going to get nominated at the Oscars, but it's fine. Also, Jake Gyllenhaal for Stronger. I saw that film recently and I loved it. Really surprised that he isn't getting a nomination for Best Actor in a Drama. Came as a big shock to me because he was absolutely brilliant, gave one of the best performances of the year. But again, I haven't seen most of these films that they have nominated, but to be honest, I think that All the Money in the World is ridiculous. Now, I really like Ridley Scott, but come on. Like, Christopher Plummer, who I also absolutely love, I think he's brilliant in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, he has a nomination for Best Supporting Actor, and he filmed all his scenes, like, last month, like, literally, because of the whole thing with Kevin Spacey. They had to recast the character and put, like, Christopher Plummer, they had to refilm and re-edit all of his scenes, and the movie's not even out yet, and I just don't know, it's a bit stupid. Like, of course, Christopher Plummer is a great actor, and he could be absolutely incredible in the film, but I think that this is a year where they're just nominating people who are famous, people who have already had Oscars, people who are well-known, big household names. Look at the directors section. Nolan, and I'll get to Nolan in a bit, Spielberg, Guillermo del Toro, Martin McDonagh, who I'll get to him in as well, and who else is it? Ridley Scott. Where look at last year. I think that last year was such a great example of doing awards right. We had the two, big players. We had the fan favorites. We had the underdog. It was actually a diverse year for films. Whereas like this one, it's just old famous white director getting nominated. If you think about it, Steven Spielberg already has enough like recognition. Everyone knows who Spielberg is. He already has a ton of Oscars or whatever. So does Ridley Scott. He's an acclaimed director. Whereas you look at last year, most people didn't know who Damien Chazelle was. Most people didn't know who Barry Jenkins was. Most people didn't know who Kenneth Lonergan was. Mel Gibson had a comeback. Tom Ford was introduced into like the big, movies because he had done one film before that. And Denis Villeneuve was getting proper awards attention for the first time, and he was a fan favorite. Whereas with this year, it's all household names. Everyone knows Steven Spielberg. Everyone knows Guillermo del Toro and Christopher Nolan. I'll get to him now. I like Dunkirk. I like it. I gave it an A, which is a very, very good score because I think it's one of the best films of the year from a filmmaking perspective. I think the cinematography is brilliant, but it just didn't hit me personally. Personally, I thought it was just an alright film. However, I would love to see Christopher Nolan win just because I love Nolan. If you've been watching this channel for a while, then you know just how much I love Inception, Prestige, and The Dark Knight. That's three of my favorite films of all time. So I love Nolan, but if he, I wish that he had won for one of those and not Dunkirk, but if he did win, he would be sort of winning for these, all the great films that he's done and not just Dunkirk, if that makes any sense. And also Martin McDonagh, who directed Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, which I haven't seen, but it looks great. He did In Bruges and Seven Psychopaths, both great films, some of the best performances from Colin Farrell. So again, great to see him get some recognition, but I just wish that they had nominated Jordan Peele, Patty Jenkins, maybe Edgar Wright could have gotten some love for Baby Driver. Who knows, so many other possibilities. Again, Jordan Peele, Get Out was a big snub. Jordan Peele, I don't think got Best Screenplay. He didn't get Best Director, which really pissed me off because I love Get Out. Great to see Daniel Kaluuya get nominated though, really happy for him. But also, the biggest snub of all, my favorite movie of the year until Last Jedi. We don't know. I haven't seen The Last Jedi yet. I'm seeing it in 2 days. But Blade Runner didn't get a single nomination. It's fine. You didn't have to nominate Gosling or Harrison Ford. It's fine. But at least Denis Villeneuve should have gotten Best Director and at least a nomination. He should have won. Blade Runner is the most well-directed movie of the year. It should have gotten Best Picture Drama easily. Oh my god. It pissed me off a bit. Now, again, I haven't seen all these films, so they could be really great, and they could be even better than Blade Runner, but I don't think so. Because, I don't know, guys, so many snubs. So many snubs. I think this is a year that they just got it wrong. I think the biggest problem by far with this set of nominations is just that they've just nominating a bunch of, famous people who already have a ton of awards, and not giving other people a chance. The Big Sick, Kumail Nanjiani should have gotten Best Screenplay easily. He should have won for Best Screenplay, and hopefully the Oscars will rectify this. But I love The Big Sick. Kumail Nanjiani should have gotten. Holly Hunter should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actress easily. I think this year they kind of got it wrong. I'm not really happy with the Golden Globes, but to be honest, they don't matter that much anyway. But it still pisses me off that people who are talented and have done good work don't get, the recognition they deserve. Like Jake Gyllenhaal, he's my favorite actor. He gives at least one good performance every single year. Last year with Nocturnal Animals and 2014 with Nightcrawler, he was snubbed for both. He just constantly not getting the recognition he deserves, and it just really pisses me off to see someone so talented who puts in so much work not get nominated. But of course, there are some really, really great nominations that I am happy with. It's great to see Margot Robbie getting done for I, Tonya. Again, I haven't seen that film. Also, again, Daniel Kaluuya, I'm beyond happy. Obviously, Daniel Day-Lewis is always going to get nominated. I haven't seen Phantom Thread, but it's just great to see Daniel Day back again. So yeah, of course, there are a couple of good nominations here and there, but for the most part, I think in terms of Golden Globes, they did kind of get it wrong. And that's it. It's just a quick video just to give you my thoughts on the nominations. I might do a predictions video closer to the date of the Golden Globes. But yeah, that's my video for today. Thank you very much, as always, for watching, guys. Thank you.